Hello and welcome to African Living Abroad. This is Jamhuri and I'm glad to be back. It's been a while. So here today I am just taking a walk on a nice March afternoon. I would say it's relatively warm, of course. 2 degrees and there's still snow in the ground, but it's a beautiful, beautiful day. It's a bit cloudy. And I'm taking my regular walk here. And a lot of things are in my mind today. A lot of things. It's a Sunday afternoon and everybody's low key. And I would say what is in the air right now is what I really don't dare to say the name. I guess for the concern of empowering it, I call it the world pandemic. I guess that's the best, and you would know what I'm talking about this March of 2020. And now I've been wondering why it's so difficult for me to mention that name. And I realize that it goes back to the culture I grew up in Kenya. And what happened at that time was when things in that culture, when things are difficult and there's some bad things that happen, or some bad people have done something, some people have done something bad, and then we were encouraged not to mention their names regularly, not to use that name, and people wouldn't even be renamed after that name. And I think I do understand now how much you empower something by giving it attention or mentioning the names. So since the outbreak of this pandemic, I have not really, I think I've mentioned that word only once, the name of this pandemic, only once. It's not that I'm trying to avoid it, but deep down inside me, I don't have, I find it difficult to say that word. So that's what I'm at today. I'm not doing a video because everybody is doing a video about it, and so it's a fad to do it. I actually didn't think I was gonna talk about it, but a few thoughts have been in my mind quite a bit, and wondering about why we are so low key everywhere, low key with the lockdowns, the the separation between people. It's never happened before, but what's encouraging to me is that I am not in this alone. It's not only my family, it's other families, other communities, other countries, and there's nowhere to go but to go within you. And I just was wondering whether everybody feels what I feel. I feel that there is a collective introspection, that we are going deep inside of us, thinking about things. It may not be really anything bad that you're thinking about, but there's just, even in the same home where you live together, everybody could be sitting in their own space, their own room, doing their own things, having a good time. You know, of course, I check on my family to see how everybody's doing, and they would say, "Oh, I'm doing great, no problem. I'm okay. I'm having just a good time. I'm doing this, I'm doing that." And yesterday was my son's birthday, so it was really something special to do something different. I don't know whether you have the same feeling that even to be creative is a bit of a daunting job. So 2 things happened this week for me that I found a little bit extraordinary, actually. At work, before the schools were closed, one of the staff members, 2 of them, came around with a Easter basket with a bear in it to be raffled off. And she gave us some free tickets. And when I just saw that act, we've never done that in our school before, but I thought that she was very thoughtful and very creative, and that she did something extraordinary. And something else that happened that I noticed also is every March 17th, we celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and in the schools, everybody wears green. You can't miss it. And I would dress up also. But I happened to be in one of the schools and I saw a glimpse of green. I saw a few people with green and I was wondering, what is this green about? And then I saw some papers on the table and it had the St. Patrick theme. And I realized, we missed St. Patrick. We missed it. And our focus is somewhere else. I don't know what's taking away our focus, of course. I wish that someone who remembered it would have made a buzz about it to say, hey, tomorrow is St. Patrick's, come to school dressed up really bright, let's do it. Because we are losing our celebrations, we are losing our creativity. And I wonder why we're doing that. I think it's happening automatically. This is a time where things are really different and they're not ordinary. And am I worried about it? No, I'm not worried about it. The lessons I've been learning these past few years were, one of the big things is going with the flow of life. When something happens in your life, a new season comes in your life that you don't recognize. For me, naturally, I used to freak out and I used to fight those things. And even in my prayer, I remember saying, no, God, I cannot accept it. This has to change. This cannot, I will not allow this to happen. I laugh about it now, but I didn't know any better. But my teachers say that things in life change. They're transitional moments. The seasons, for example, like now, it's winter and it's slowly transition. We entered spring and you can't even tell it's spring here in Manitoba, Canada. Look at that. In some other provinces in Manitoba, like British Columbia, I'm sure they have flowers right now and we're still so far away from it. But I know for sure the snow is melting slowly and we're transitioning and we'll reach there. And when I look at nature, really, I see how nature doesn't squirm about like me and say, oh, now it's been so cold, we are frozen, that nature does not freak out. And we are part of this system, of this seasonal changes. And so I'm learning to go with the flow of life and accepting this season of the pandemic and trying to find the lessons that it's teaching us. What lessons am I learning from now at this time? And I was talking to my colleague the other day about the positive things that are happening. One of the things is nature is healing, and dolphins are coming to places that they haven't been seen for a long time. People are connecting. Even though not physically, but in their minds, in their hearts, people are watching out for each other. You don't hear of any terrorist attacks. People are not killing each other. There is just this collective pause. And I'm wondering, really deep down, and I want to know, I feel like, what? My question is that I ask my friends is the world getting rebooted? Are we getting rebooted? And I think yes. We are being put on a pause to ponder so many things. This is what I believe. And this will happen as long as whoever is in control to give us a chance to rethink our ways, to look into the depths of our hearts and to see where are we at. So I believe that if nature is a sign that things are getting better for nature, the same thing is happening within us. We are being renewed from within, in our minds, in our hearts. And I can't look forward. I can't wait to see what comes out on the other side when we come out of this. So I would just say that, another thought that has been in my mind is, was that the end of the world as we knew it? Is that what it meant to say in the future there will be a new earth, a new world? The old will pass and the new will come. Is this what it meant? Hey, don't take that as a gospel, not my gospel. I like to think about a lot of things, but did we miss anything? Was that the end of the world and a new world is being reborn? Right now, I think yes. Am I excited about it? About the changes we're going through? Yes, I am. I am, because nothing has ever happened like this in the world. That it's just not in my world, not only in your world, but in your community, in your home. The whole world is going through the same thing. Nature is going through the same thing. And we're in this together. And I hope that we come out of this strong and seeing the connectiveness that we are all united and connected, both as human beings and as nature. Another thought that came in my mind is that this is a time for those things to happen that need to happen. And then it will pass. And then there will be a new chapter. And I thought today about a king that lived many centuries ago. His name was King Solomon. He was considered one of the wisest kings of his time, and he was a writer. And he talked about different seasons in life. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to love and a time to hate, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to gather stones and to throw them away, a time to go to war, a time to make peace, a time to mourn and a time to dance. And I grasp it now. I really do, because I've also been learning through my teachers about the duality of life. The duality of life is two things, opposing forces that can coexist. Like light and darkness. Where there is light, there's bound to be darkness. Where there is joy, there will be sadness. And it's even one of the closest things that I've experienced is when I go to a funeral in my home country of birth, Kenya. And I would go there because of something sad has happened. A close family member has passed away. And yet meeting all old friends and family members, there is so much joy. You laugh, you have a lot of stories to share. And I used to feel guilty about it. Wondering, why would I dance? Why would I laugh? Why? Somebody has died. And you would feel guilty about expressing those emotions. But that's an example of dualities in life. Two opposite things that exist so closely together. And so now, a time to be sad, for some people, a time, and my heart goes out to people, families that have lost loved ones at this time because of this pandemic. I don't want to disrespect you. My heart goes out to you. And those that are suffering right now, those that are sick, I wish you lots of healing. And I know that after this ends, we'll come out stronger. But let's not only look for the things that happen later on. The big picture will be shown later, why things had to happen this way. We always see things clearer in retrospect. But even now, as we go through this in our own quiet moments, can we look into ourselves, into our hearts, into deep down and see what's going on? And let's not forget to celebrate the good things. Today, I was online with a group of people that I network with every Sunday. And at the end, there was a surprise. A guy just had prepared a beautiful song by Louis Armstrong. What a wonderful world. And he played it on the guitar. And all of us, all over the world, within our little video thumbnails, we could all sing along. And for me, tears were flowing in my eyes, and I was dancing like crazy, moving my hands. I was so joyful because it's like, wow, what a song. It's like I'm hearing the song for the first time. And I appreciate it so much. that guy's gesture to bless us with a song to lift our spirits. And it's like, I've forgotten how to celebrate, how to have fun. So this afternoon, before I came for a walk, I said to my family, "Hey, how about in a couple of hours when I get back, could we play a game of Uno?" And everybody's saying, "Yeah, yeah." So we're going to the old ways of how to have fun, and I think I'm looking forward to the noise around the table. Throwing someone a +2, a +4, or somebody doing the same to me, and we're getting really animated. I miss that animation. This quiet is just too boring. But it's not boring for nothing. I want to know what lessons I will learn at this time. What kind of creativity is going on? Even though we've been disconnected because everybody's closed in, you know what? I continue to build my bridges because I'm thinking about many people in different parts of the world that are related to me in one way or another, and reaching out to them, asking them, how they're doing. So I'll end here by saying, even though we've been forcefully put into a pause, continue to do the work you need to do. Build your bridges, do whatever you need to do, and we'll see you very soon. I cannot wait to see what happens in a week's time. We are all in this together, and enjoy a glimpse of my world. How beautiful is that? -2 degrees, yet I'm here enjoying it. Very, very fresh air. There's some birds around. Nature is awakening. Yay! Till next time.